Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God Screen Peter Joseph here for a Monday evening, getting close to Monday night video. And it's Monday night, you know what that means. We got Monday Night Raw coming up at the top of the hour. Should be a great show. Our Tribal Chief is back. See what happens with him. And if Solo Mibuki will fall in line, or I smell chicanery tonight. I don't like it, but we'll see what happens with that. We got more of the Latin American tournament to see who faces Roman Reigns and loses. So we got Rey Fenix and El Fiscal. And I think we got another match in there. We're going to start the show with La Primera, Stephanie Parker, talking about Becky Lynch and Miss now engaged. Trouble, that's her. You know, it's Liv Morgan. See what happens with her. Them, I should say. And we got some other stuff tonight on your 2+ hour, sorry, not 1, but 2+ hour Cure for Insomnia. That's Monday Night Raw. So we got that. Mets are winning 1-0. Mets are doing good. I love it, but it's too late. But, you know, got another month to go, and maybe it might be exciting down the line, but we'll see. We'll see. If they can beat the teams they need to beat as we get into September, it might get dicey. Mets playoff run? I don't know. With this team, this new team, I like it. If they can get on a hot streak and somehow sneak into the playoffs, well, they might be dangerous. Not to say 2024 dangerous, but we'll see. But I think the new look Mets, you know, they're getting hot at the wrong time. It was August 17th. If it was June 17th, I would say something. Now, let's just play for pride now. Well, we got that. So, got that. We got Raw coming up. Gonna have a good Monday night. I hope you had a great Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, guys. If you didn't, well, sorry about that. Lost 3 people this weekend. We lost Hayden Panettiere yesterday. That hurt. 38 years old. Amazing actress. Sad to see her go. We lost Tommy John for the baseball fans. Tommy John passed away. We all know him for Tommy John surgery. Former Yankee. And for us Met fans, Butch Husky passed away on Saturday at the age of 54. They had a tribute to him yesterday, which I thought was nice. So we got that. So my condolences go out to the families of Butch Husky, Tommy John, and Hayden Panettiere. And that's all I gotta say about that. But we move on. So, not a great weekend for some of us, you know, especially myself. I had a really rough weekend, being sick, and had a lot to do, so I'm really backed up with videos. So I'm going to try to bang out, that's what she said, bang out a couple of videos tonight, and then I'm going to try to get back on track in the next couple of days. So we got that. But right now, before we get to Raw, let's talk about Smackdown last week. And really quickly, let's get to your Smackdown or Welpdown thoughts, you understand? Thoughts. For last Friday night, August the 14th, 2026. And we are emanating from, well, not the best garden. We all know that's Madison Square Garden. It's technically the best garden in the world, because that's the mecca of all sports arenas. But we got the other garden, that's the Boston Garden, TD Bank Garden Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. And as always, our commentary team of, well, man who has no passion to do play-by-play commentary, and that's Joe Tessitore, and a man who actually has a lot of enthusiasm. He's my good buddy, plays a good, mean electric twanger, that's electric guitar for you people at home, and that's Bad News Wade Bennett. And I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, I got some more bad news for you. I gotta sit next to Joe for another 2 hours this Friday night on Smackdown. Bah! Sucks. I used to like Joe, now I don't like him at all. It's boring. Show some enthusiasm, you prick. Come on, man. Just can't sit there like, oh, it's Randy Orton, look what he did to Cody. I'm like, show some enthusiasm. I'm like, by God, Randy Orton, what a heinous act! That Jezebel! Like, be like fucking Jim Ross. thank God Jim Ross, he had brain surgery last week. Thankfully, it went well. Now he's on the road to recovery. Hope he has a speedy recovery. But, maybe we'll see him back on the commentary table. Not soon, but, well, hopefully relatively soon. Not for a long time. He doesn't have to retire and stuff like that. Well, he's going to retire anyway, but can't lose JR yet. So, Lord, don't take JR just yet. Give him about another 15, 20 years, okay? Thank you. We move on with that. Whew, hot in here. Anyway, that's just me. So we got that. Alright, so SmackDown wasn't anything to write home about. It was good, but it was So we started with Nick Aldis. Brings out Chelsea Green, Madam President, the SmackDown Women's Champion. We know Chelsea is injured with her broken orbital bone. And looked like Nick was basically told Chelsea, give back the belt. If you can't defend it, just give back the belt. Blah, blah, blah. Chelsea's like, I don't want to do it. This is not right. Please give me another chance. I'll get cleared. Just give me another chance. So, Nick's like, well, as GM, I can't do anything about it. So, Chelsea gives him the belt. She leaves. The fans are pissed. Chelsea's pissed. And then Nick's like, you know what? Chelsea, get back in this ring. You can keep the belt if, and only if, you can get medically cleared in 30 days, or you wear a mask, somehow defend your title. Chelsea's like, yeah, I got my belt back, yay! And then, Nia, woo! No, take that back. Later on, Walter comes out, berates, he went savage mode on Chelsea, saying, oh, you won the belt at SummerSlam, the next week you walked into a fucking door. Dude. And then that brought out Matt fucking Cardona. He's like, oh, you can't talk to my wife like that. And then they go to leave, and Walter's like, oh, look. The bitch and his owner leaving the ring. So like that. And Matt Cardona went off. He took down Walter, but Walter beat his ass. And then we get an impromptu match out of this, which, as you all know, Walter beat the shit out of Matt Cardona, beat him with the Boston Crab, and fucking Cardona, right before he even, as soon as he, kind of turned over, he went, oh, pussy. Yeah, no, come on, get out of it at least. Or at least try to get out of it. But he freaking tapped in under 4 minutes. I'm like, dude, go back to catering. Shit. So, that was that, and afterwards, Chelsea goes to check on him, and then Nia, woo! Jax and Lash Legend get shit done. They come out. Nia says, I want your title, Chelsea. I don't care if I have to break your face even more to do it. And then, it's Tiffy time! Daddy! Tiffy comes out to save her. And then we know Tiffy's defending the belt against Casey Jane later on. Which doesn't end well. We'll get to that in a little bit. Moving on, well, looks like Chelsea, her first offense might be against Nia. Let's see what happens with that. Alright, then we get a video for Tatum Paxley's debut last week, helping Charlotte beat Jade Cargill and the baddies. So that leads to Charlotte and Lexi in the back. They go into their locker room, which is now, they open the door. Tatum has, candles and pictures of Lexi and Charlotte. Charlotte's like, what the fuck is this shit? And Lexi's like, oh, she's my friend too. Come in. Charlotte's like, yeah, I'll go in with you, yeah, sure. Yeah. Creepy! So we'll see what happens with that this week, coming week. Alright, then we're going to recap of what happened last week at SummerSlam with Randy Orton and his monotonous voice! Costing Cody! MDK like Cody, you bitch! And then we saw what happened last week, where they wanted to fight and didn't fight, and then Cody's like, who's gonna kill your legend there, Randy? Stuff like that. So Cody's in the back, tells Nick Aldis, I want a match with Randy Orton. I don't care where, I don't care when. Give me a match with Randy Orton. So Nick's like, well, I'll make some calls. So then later on we find out that Randy and Cody will fight at Sunday night's main event, September the 6th, in Hotlanta, GA. So Cody's like, I'll take the match. Okay. And then Sami Zayn comes in and says, oh, Cody, why do you always get everything you want? And Cody snaps like, who are you to tell me what to do? This and that. And then Cody, Sammy's like, well, I already beat you before, Cody. And then Cody's like, oh, can you do it again? Sammy's like, well, I got this goddamn broken hand. Oh, don't even ask how he did that. Probably knocking over all the fucking water bottles. But, fuck my hand! You know? So, Aldous is still there. He says, this got interesting. Let's have a number 1 contenders match. If Sammy's willing to go through the match. Well, eventually he does, or, that ended in crap. Where we get that? Alright, then we go back to the ring. United States title on the line. Baron Stormy Corbin takes on, well, the man who's getting royally fucked on SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes. Him. And good match, but and Melo hits 2 first 48s. Then he goes up top looking for the nothing but the bottom of the net, and Corbin shoved him off the top rope almost to his death. Damn, because he landed like feet first right into the barricade. Ouch. And then brings him back in, hits the end of days, 1, 2, 3, retains the belt. We were pissed. People were pissed. We're people. Justice for Melo. So, Corbin retains, and then after the match, Trick Willie Shawn, he comes out, he's on the stage, little Yachty causes a distraction, hits his own trick shot, and then Corbin gets up like he no-sold it. He's like, you son of a bitch! Goes after Yachty, and Yachty gets out of town. Trick comes in, hits his version of the trick shot, leaves Baron Stormy Corbin laying. So that feud continues. See what happens with that. Let me move on. What's that? Alright, then Chelsea Green thanks Tiffy Tiff for the save. Tiffy says, I'm good to defend my belt, even though she got beat up, I think, afterwards, I think she got beat up by Nia Lash, or whatever. She says, I'm good to defend my belt against JC Jane. And then, dun dun dun, you knew something was going to happen. So, we get that. And that's that. And then I'll go ahead in my notes a little bit. We get to the match. Actually, I take that back. Okay, we won't go ahead yet. Except my notes came back. Alright, then we get to the segment of the night. Kevin Steen and Punky Brewster. Woo! They went at it. Kevin's like, I don't like you. You're the guy back. We used to be in a company together. Ring of Honor. And, you said you were a fat indie guy, blah, 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 20 years ago. And Punk's like, go ahead, smarten them up. Let's see. Let's go back in history with 2006 Ring of Honor. Why not? So, Owens goes on he went on a tirade. He won the promo battle, I think. Punk's like, yeah, all this bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. And then basically, Kevin calls Punk a fraud, which he is. And then, Kevin's like, I'm not convinced that. Actually, he says, I'm convinced that you hate yourself, but I don't feel that way when I look in the mirror. I like myself. I think I'm a pretty nice guy. And then, I think Kevin's like, what about you, not avoiding Roman Spear at Mania? Oh, yeah. Knock him down there. Punk says, I see the same guy I saw 20 years ago. Owens like, I don't regret not hitting you in the face 20 years ago. But if I did that, you would have ruined my career. Punk's like, you'd think? And then, Kevin's like, I don't want to, I says, I'll wait 7 days because we have that match coming up next week. Excuse me, in Toronto, which is pretty much Kevin Steen territory, even though he's from Maribyrnong, Quebec, not Toronto, Ontario, which is a better city and province than Quebec, because Montreal's in that fucking province. Fuck that city. So basically he says, Punk, I'm not going to hit you in the, I'm going to wait 7 days, then I'm going to hit you in the face. And then Punk's like, well, get ready, next week I'm going to put you to sleep. Right. But a few, didn't mention AEW, but a few references to Punk's time in AEW. I thought it was nice. But, whatever. But, great segment. Great segment. 3.5 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, we're in Nick Aldis' office. Fiend Balor. He comes in, and he wanted to do something, but then Walter comes in. Aldis like, what are you doing here? Walter says, I only see, and then he's like, looks at Finn, it's like, oh, I only see a shadow of you. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get a match with Finn Balor and Walter? Sign me up for that. So Balor says, I want a title shot, and he's like, I'll beat you to get there, Walter. Foreshadowing, maybe. We'll get that. Alright, we move on. Alright, back to the ring we go for the Smackdown Tag Team titles. The Dark Truth, Poppy Priest, and R-Truth take on War Machine, the Triple A Tag Team Champions. Eric and Ivar, their titles are not on the line. They take on the new MFTs, Tama Tonga and Hikurio, with Haku at ringside with his big fucking stick. Match was good. Getting to the end, Eric knocks Poppy through the announcer's table, which broke. Not on the table. And then R-Truth, does his whole Ron Cena gimmick. Was, his sequence on Tama. But then Coolio comes back in. And they hit Brothers Keeper to R-Truth. Tama goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. We have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions in the MFTs. I think it's great they have Haku back. Now they're on a pretty much a collision course with Shinsuke Nakamura and his mystery partner. We didn't see the segment. I wish we did. But he says, my partner is a ticking time bomb. And who's a ticking time bomb that knows Shinsuke? You say Tanahashi, I'm going to kick your ass. It's Hiromu Takahashi. The ticking time bomb is coming to SmackDown. Sign me up. I am ready. I am happy. Hiromu's coming to SmackDown. He's not even going to NXT. Fuck him going to NXT. I would have loved him there, but I was thinking it would be Evil, but I think Evil has some more dates to do in NXT. I guess I don't know what Vile's doing there. So let me get that. All right, put it on Raw. Just about to start. So we'll move on from that. I don't know why every time I try to, something's wrong with my Netflix. Actually, well, I was gonna say something's wrong with my Netflix. Sometimes it loads really slow. I don't know. It's not my. I don't think it's my internet. It's kind of slow too, but yes. All right, let's see if I can get Raw properly on time. It's gonna take a while. So. I don't know, the loading time just bleh. Alright, let me do this again. Hold on. Alright, hold on. Let's go back. There we go. Sometimes my Netflix is so fucked sometimes. I don't know why. Maybe it's just for Raw. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, let me try this. Let me do it again. I'll eventually get it. But yeah, we're gonna start with La Primera, Stephanie Verker. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're getting a recap of Solo Mibuki and, calm down. Jey Uso, Jey was like, this your warning shot! Bow! And then Solo's like, did anybody get shot? Everybody okay over here? Good. And then they have the match, which, I don't know how Jey won, thanks to Jimmy, really. And now, Jimmy and Jey are gonna pretty much deliver Solo to Roman tonight in the final segment of the night. I still think it's gonna be some chicanery. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that. Alright, so we're getting a recap right now. Ah! Pew! So we get that. Alright, so new tag team champions in the MFTs. But now, like I said, they're on a collision course with Shinsuke Nakamura and the newest member of the Smackdown roster, Hiromu Takahashi. I hope he brings back Daryl. I think we all miss Daryl. The little plush kitty. We miss Daryl. Who succumbed to a horrible death back in New Japan. So we get that. Alright, after that, the Women's U.S. title match. Tippy time. Tippy Stratton takes on Jacy Jayne, who came out, as always, with the Women's Tag Team Champions, her good friends, Fallon Loco, Don Henley, and Lainey Reed. Good match, but you knew Lainey Reed and Fallon would get involved. They do get involved. Jacy hits the rolling encore. 1, 2, 3. We have a new Women's United States Champion for the first time, Jacy Jayne. So Fatal Influence has pretty much all the gold except for the SmackDown Women's title. So Jacy's prophecy, per se, no pun intended, came true. They have the gold around their sexy waists, and well, Tiffy probably can go back to either going back to get I think she'll get a rematch, or I think she's gonna turn heel on Chelsea Green eventually, and then go after the women's title, maybe win it back. I don't know. We'll see. That's that. All right, we move on. All right, then we get an interview with Jade Cargill and the baddies. They're fine with having a new victim, and that's Tatum Paxley. So we got that. Oh, we got Chad Gable takes on Rey Mysterio, Booyaka for the Intercontinental title. Lana Valkyria, the lassie bitch from Ireland, takes on Sol Ruka. We got Oba! Who? Femi, we're gonna see him tonight. Who's that guy taking pictures behind his back? He's like this. He's like hounding the guy. I was like, who's this guy? I was like, fucking taking pictures. Get out of here. Weird. All right, so Raw is emanating live from Buffalo, New York, Gene. Good old Buffalo with those Bisons playing the Sabres. Well, they suck. Hockey season's coming up soon. September 21st, I believe, is the Rangers' first preseason game against the Devils. Alright, so we're going to start with Stephanie, like I said before, so we'll get to that later. Alright, so Jade and the baddies are fine with having a new victim, and that's Tatum Paxley. Alright, we got that. Alright, then we get to the main event of SmackDown. Number one contendership to Punk's title. Sammy and Cody, part 2, I guess, like a boogaloo. So, really, the match doesn't really go like 5 minutes. Sammy was doing a lot of cheating, and then he leaves. Cody goes after him, low blow to block a Pillmanization, and then the chair was taken away from Cody, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually Randy Orton comes in, beats up Cody. They go on the announce table. And Randy was about to, pretty much Pillmanize Cody's skull like he, I think like he did before. And, but Cody with a low blow. Then he wants to do the same thing to Randy. And of all people, Sean Daivari, the stooge, takes the chair away and almost falls over the fucking desk with Cody. I'm like, damn, that could have been really bad. So he takes the chair away, and then, pulling them apart, and then SmackDown ends with Cody beating on Randy. I didn't see what happened after. I think they pulled them apart eventually. Nothing really happened after that. So, a lot of chicanery at the end, and Daivari. I mean, seriously, Daivari? I'd be like, oh, if it was Jason Jordan, or maybe Petey Williams, or Kenny Dykstra, or even Jamie Noble got the chair away from Cody, I would have been okay with that, but Daivari? Huh? I'm like, okay. Damn, Stephanie Vaquero looking good, with that little low-cut top. She's talking Spanish. She's like, I don't care who comes out, I want to fight! So it's like, Liv, get your ass out here, and here comes Liv. I think it's time for trouble. Here she comes. Oh, yeah. Trouble, that's me. Aw, we didn't hear the whole music. Alright, Liv's out with Raquel Rodriguez, the Women's Intercontinental Champ, and the beautiful Roxanne Perez. So we'll hear that. But all four ladies looking amazing. Liv's sadly engaged. Fuck! And we move on. Alright, so that ends SmackDown with Randy almost getting beheaded by Cody, and Daivari had to save him, of all people, Daivari. So we get that. So we'll see what happens this Friday night on SmackDown as we're heading into Sunday night's main event. We got that. Alright, guys, so SmackDown wasn't that bad, so I'm going to give it a straight 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section, like Trick Willie would say. Let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, I'm going to watch Raw. Tribal Chief's coming up later in the show. But we got Liv and company berating Stephanie Vercurra. I would be surprised if Becky Lynch comes out later. So, we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll be back later with your NXT review. But until next time, peace.